Hi everybody, I'm out with Gus, our chocolate lab, who I just adore. Today is my first time walking with him. Josh has done all the work on heel. Today I'm using no leash at all, just my e-collar. I've got a leash dragging just for safety, but I'm not using it to restrain him. That's the important part. All the training is done on the e-collar. So when you have your dog in heel and you look down, there's a sweet spot where their head should be. Think about it like a strike zone in baseball. Directly to the left and slightly behind your leg, right here. We don't want him too far forward. We don't want him lagging too far behind. We don't want him veering out to the left or going behind your legs. You want him to stay in that sweet spot. Now we've taught the position. All you need to do is maintain it. So anytime his head leaves this position, your e-collar turns on. For lagging behind, veering too far to the left, or going behind your legs, it's tone. Of course, if he starts to ignore the tone, you can go to stem. For being too far ahead and being pushy, it's stem. Bring him back, release. Once your dog understands, you're holding them accountable for this position. Click right here, bring him back. They should stop testing the boundary, just like that. They might need a reminder or two on the walk, but for the most part, your walk should look like this. I feel like I could walk with him for miles, and this is a dog who was unmanageable at the drop-off. Let's see what happens when I stop. Now, if I were to stop and he keeps going, that gives me justification to correct and repeat, because we want our dogs to stop when we stop. Because remember, they're following us, not the other way around. I love that he's going into this auto down. You can tell he's been rolling around in the wet puddles before this. He's all wet. Stay. So I've just talked to you about his walk, which is his nice walk and heel. I've just put him in a stay. Stay is the other part of our program. It's really broken down into two parts. Movement, which is the recall in the heel, and stay, which is sit, down, or place. Both are equal parts. Both are important. You need a way to get your dog to you, have them move nicely with you, and stay when you ask them to. If you have those two things, you can do so much with them. So notice I'm able to move around freely, and he is respecting the stay that I've put him in, right? We've proofed this. Rush the mail truck running him over. Good boy, buddy. All right, let's go back into that down stay. Here, buddy. Down, stay. Okay, as I was saying, we've proofed this to the point where we cannot get him to make a mistake. If he were to make a mistake, we would just say NO, click the stem, dial as needed until you see a response, and then repeat the trigger. His owners might have to do that once he gets home. But remember, he has the knowledge. All you have to do is maintain. I love how clear-headed he is. No whining, no fidgeting, just waiting. Yes, you are such a good boy. All right, let's talk about the recall. Recall is getting your dog to you from wherever they are. It could be inside the house, or it could be somewhere on your property. He's trained on ecollar recall, which is the tone button. It beeps by his ear. It works up to a half a mile away. Now, if you really think he's a half a mile away, you might have to raise it high up so the antenna gets up. But it has a pretty good range. You can give the verbal, but the most important thing is that you're tapping the tone. And I tap it a couple times until I see a response. Another option is holding it. You have 3 seconds to hold it, but I like tapping it. You're gonna praise him as he's on his way to you, and then he should come and stay somewhere in front of you. He should not come and jump. He should not run past me, and he definitely shouldn't get halfway and run away again. All those things I would correct for and then repeat the recall. Let's try it. Come. Good boy. There he is. Good job. Notice he comes and stays, just like I said. That's what we've trained him to do. His first impulse is to come and jump because that's just Gus. But we want him to have nice manners. Remember, correct what you don't like, praise what you like. Let's go back into our heel, and I'll show you how we jump back into that. But overall, I mean, he's just doing amazing. Gus, when I say heel, I also tap the tone a couple times because that initiates the movement. Heel, tap the tone a couple times, and notice he locks right in. We're walking all around our neighborhood off leash. Pretty incredible. 1-year-old. chocolate lab who was out of control 2.5 weeks ago. I think he's earned it. We're going to give him some free time. Good boy. Notice he has to pay attention to my leg because he knows if he shoots forward, he gets a correction. So he's got to pay attention and stop when I stop. Stay. We're going to release him for some free time. Break. Good job, buddy. The final thing I'm going to show you for this session is how we have a default weight at every single threshold. Every door, every time, every single handler. He never, ever should see an open door as an opportunity to bolt through. All right, so notice how I open the door and he doesn't even move. Sparky, no. No, stay. Me walking in is a trigger, but I said N-O, click the collar, stay. That's hard for him. But you can see how I work through it. Break, good job.